All right, today we are going to be taking a look at the Pulsar Trail XP50 thermal imaging rifle scope. It's a pretty cool unit. I got it in for an article that I wrote for Athlon Outdoors about all different types of thermal, but magazine article is kind of hard to show it like this, so we're doing this video too. The Trail XP is one of their higher end models. It has the 640 by 480 sensor and AMOLED display, and it's a 17 micron, I believe, sensor. Double check that for me, but I'm pretty sure it is. One nice thing is it uses these interchangeable batteries that you can just lift up the lever, pull out the battery, and then it has a USB style charger that you can just put the battery in and plug it into USB and it'll charge it up. But the batteries, they make an extended version as well. You could stick on there if you need to. Has an eyepiece, to block out the light. You can also charge it directly there, and I believe that's how you also download the photos and videos that you take with it. This one has a manual adjustment for focus, so it's kind of a pain, but it's not too bad. Just have to, if you're constantly looking at different depths of field, you have to kind of move this in and out to get your focus. Pretty simple button layout. There's your menu. They use a lot of half clicks and full clicks to get different menus pop up. So for instance, if you just barely touch the menu, it brings up a certain shortcut menu, but then if you long press on it, it'll bring up the more in-depth menus. There's your up and down arrows, and this one also does some different functions. It's a pretty cool unit. This is a heat sink here. It does get a little warm during operation, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit hard to show the menus on the system, so I took some photos, and that will be in a different article. But you also focus your eyepiece with this one, and that'll close over there. Battery life seems pretty good. It's pretty nice. This is a 50mm lens. I believe they offer this also in a 38mm lens to give you a little bit more field of view. I would probably recommend that for general purpose. If you're shooting under 100 yards or so, it's probably better. If you really need that distance to really identify something, I guess go for the 50mm, but I took it coyote hunting, and we didn't call any coyotes in, but we saw cats and deer and cows, and cows were a few hundred yards away, and they kind of look like blobs, so you have to be really confident in your shot. One thing I do like about this one is it does offer a picture-in-picture mode, which is nice because you can keep your wide angle main view on the bottom, and then you can hit a button for picture-in-picture and zoom in, and so your reticle will show in both, and you'll get a real tight shot if you're trying to get for accuracy, but because you don't want to keep it logged in at that zoomed level, because you'll lose all your perception of what's around it. So that wide angle on the bottom coupled with that tight angle on top, it really helps you see both views at the same time. It is a digital zoom when you start doing the zooms, so you do degrade the quality of it, but that's to be expected with any non-optical zoom. It's got a Picatinny mount here. It bolts on, so you can move it fore and aft to get the proper eye relief on your rail system. Worked fine on an AR-10 that I had this on for the article. I mounted this on a Palmetto State Armory 6.5 Creedmoor AR-10 style rifle. But so far, so good. This optic retails for about $5,400. Sounds like a lot of money, but for the amount of technology and the sensor size and quality, it's pretty darn good. I would get it if I had the budget for something like this. But when you do these rifle scopes like this, I would also recommend a handheld spotter, such as the Pulsar, I believe it's Helion, Helion, handheld spotter. This is a little bit lighter weight, has a hand grip on it. You can scan real easy with this. I'll do a separate video on this, but just keep that in mind that you may have to budget for a handheld and a thermal. And that is the Pulsar Trail XP50.